Public events are far and away the best way to level up and progress your character in Destiny 2, whether it be farming legendary and exotic engrams, planetary tokens, or just increasing your power level. Public events are the fastest way to achieve all of this. The video will serve as a guide to completing the heroic mode of each public event. On screen now are the timestamps where I talk about each of the events. If you want to know about one particular event, you can skip to the time shown to learn about it. If you're trying to get the best rewards, I suggest completing public events as the heroic mode rather than the normal mode. A quick tip before we get into the guide: every public event has a flag down that shows where the events will spawn. Activating this flag will refill your super and ability energy as well as fill up your ammo, so getting to an event before it spawns to activate the flag is something I definitely recommend. The Glimmer Extraction public event involves sabotaging the Fallen's Glimmer mining. To complete the heroic mode of this, look for a small damageable object underneath the Glimmer mining drill. Destroy that and then kill the 4 marked Fallen. They will be marked with a symbol above their head. Once they are killed, the mining drill will explode and you have to find the next Glimmer mining area. Repeat this process of destroying the damageable node and killing the marked Fallen for each of the extraction points. There will be 3 locations in total. On the final one, after destroying the node, the drill will explode and a bunch of Glimmer will be on the ground. Now you have to hold that point for about a minute until it can be extracted to the city. During this time, Fallen will try and push you off the capture point, so try and stay grouped up and team fire them down. Very early on, there will be a large Fallen captain that spawns in and rushes the point. Try to eliminate him as quickly as possible. Once this is done, the rest of the event should be pretty easy. Use your power ammo on killing the nodes. Every Glimmer extraction point should have a few yellow health bar mobs that will allow you to replenish said ammo. The Glimmer node you have to destroy has a ton of health, so shotguns, rocket launchers, and fusion rifles will be the best for destroying it quickly. Also, if you fail to destroy the nodes at the first 2 points, the final point will have extra Glimmer nodes to destroy, allowing you to still complete the heroic mode. Next up, the Ether Resupply event is one of the simpler ones. It's more of a marathon than a sprint to do damage. A giant servitor will spawn in and you can freely start damaging it. Once its health has been reduced a little bit, a smaller servitor will spawn in. Destroy that one before it's absorbed by the larger servitor. Once that's done, you can keep damaging the larger servitor. Again, shortly after you reduce its health, 3 smaller servitors will spawn. Quickly kill those before they're absorbed by the larger servitor. If a single one is absorbed, you will fail, triggering the heroic mode. After you kill all 3 small servitors, the heroic mode will begin. The large servitor gains an increase in its attack speed and will take reduced damage. You have until the event timer goes down to 0 to kill it and complete the event. Some quick tips for this one: I'd save your power ammo for killing the smaller servitors, since they are the key to triggering the heroic mode. While the boss does have a lot of health, if you have 1 to 2 people pinging away at it, you'll have more than enough time to complete the heroic event. Next up is the Weapon Exchange public event, and it's one of the more difficult ones, as there are a few different things going on in it. First off, a Fallen spider tank will spawn in after a few ads come. Destroy one of the legs to trigger its maintenance phase. During this time, you can hit the exposed core to deal extra damage to the walker. However, you don't need to do this just yet. Once you destroy the leg, it will also spawn 3 orbs that can be picked up. Surrounding the arena are 3 shielded areas that house Fallen Scorch cannons. If you pick up one of the orbs from the walker, you can take it to one of the shielded caches and deposit it into the side terminals. Each cache requires 2 of the orbs to open it, so you need to destroy 2 of the Fallen Walker legs to get enough orbs. Once all of the caches have been opened, the heroic mode will trigger. Be careful not to destroy the Fallen Walker before you open the caches though, because doing this will cause the event to complete before you can activate the heroic mode. Once the caches are opened and the heroic mode is active, another Fallen Walker will join the fray via a dropship. You should have plenty of firepower to kill both walkers now, since you have a total of 6 Scorch cannons to deal massive damage. Aim at the legs, expose the core, then shoot the core. Repeat until the walkers are dead. Once they are, the event will be completed. Next up is the Taken Blight event, and it's one of the more annoying ones to complete, mostly because it's easy for someone to just not understand the event and not allow you to trigger the heroic mode. Normally, you just kill the Blights by walking into the Blight and then shooting the floating orb. However, to trigger the heroic version of the event, walk into a Blight and then walk out. You will gain a buff for 4 seconds that will allow you to damage the larger Blight in the center here. So, you have to keep walking in and out of a Blight and keep damaging the larger central Blight. It has a massive amount of health, so use shotguns or rockets to try to take it out quickly before some random comes along and kills the small Blight. If that does happen, keep trying to do damage to the larger Blight, as it still is possible to trigger the heroic event even after the main Blight changes location. It just gets a little bit more difficult as time goes on. Another pro tip, if you have the Wardcliffe Coil exotic rocket launcher, it will only take 4 shots to take out the big Blight. Hawthorne's Field Forged shotgun is also a good weapon to use, although you will run out of ammo quickly. Once you destroy the large Blight, a large Taken captain will spawn in. You have until the public event timer runs out to kill this captain and complete the event. The Injection Reg event is another difficult event to solo if you aren't geared with hard-hitting power weapons. The event starts by having a giant Cabal machine land on the ground. If you're quick, you can jump up and destroy the first vent at the very top before the event actually starts, making the entire event much easier. The trigger for completing this event is destroying 3 of the vents on the rig. To enter the phase where you damage the vents, you must first kill the Elite Cabal Scion roaming the area. Once that is done, the evacuation phase will begin. During this time, the vents on the rig will open up and become damageable, but you will also take damage from the rig when inside the bubble. The top vents will be damageable first, and the middle vent will become damageable once the top vent has been destroyed. The bottom vent will only become damageable once the top and middle layers are destroyed. Each layer of vents shares damage, so you don't have to single target it down with everyone in the area. As long as people are shooting a vent on the same layer, you will be fine. A vent has been destroyed once it starts smoking. It will still be damageable, but you aren't progressing anything by shooting it. Again, the Wardcliffe Coil Exotic is a fantastic weapon to use for this event, since a single barrage will destroy a vent layer. What normally happens though is you will destroy 1 vent per evacuation phase, but it's entirely possible to destroy multiple vents per phase if you're quick enough and know the positions. After all 3 Scions have been killed, and if you destroyed the vents on the rig, the heroic mode will activate. A large Cabal Centurion will spawn in, and you have until the event timer runs out to kill him and complete the event. Next up, the Excavator public event is one of the simpler ones to complete. A Cabal machine will land in the area and you have to stand near it to fill up a progression bar. During this time, Cabal will spawn in the surrounding area and attempt to rush you. At the same time, a Cabal ship high above will send down missile barrages to destroy you. They are easy to avoid though. When the progression bar reaches 30%, a Thresher ship will spawn into the area and begin circling the Excavator site, getting closer. You'll have to look around for it since it spawns in different areas depending on the location of the event. Use scout rifles to damage it when it's far away. Once it gets close, you can use rockets, supers, or whatever else you want to destroy it. If you do not destroy it on the first pass, it will spawn in again one more time closer to 70%. If you don't destroy it after this pass, you will fail to trigger the heroic event. Once the Thresher has been destroyed, an Elite Cabal Centurion will spawn in. You have until the event timer runs out to kill him and complete the event. The Abyss Ritual only spawns in one location on Titan. To complete the heroic portion of this event, stand on the glowing plates to remove the invulnerability shield from the wizards. Once the wizards are dead, keep standing on the plates. Above where the wizards were initially, you can see some small crystals with an immune shield around them. You have a small window where you can destroy the shields once the immune shield has been removed by you standing on the plate. Destroying the crystals is the trigger for the heroic mode of the event. If you fail to do this, you will only complete the event normally. Once the crystals are destroyed, a large hive boss will come through the portal, as will legions of Thrall. Destroy the boss before the event timer runs out to complete the event. The Vex Construct event is one of the more annoying ones to solo since depending on the location, it's basically impossible to do so. The event starts with a Vex Spire forming in the area. Vex will try to get close to the spire and integrate into it. If 10 succeed in this, the event will end and you will fail the event. The heroic mode is activated by standing on 3 separate plates and allowing the progression bars to fill up to 100% on all 3. To find the plates, look for 3 beams of dim light coming out of the Vex Spire. They will lead to the sync plates that are hidden in the ground. While you're capturing these plates, Vex will be spawning in and rushing both you and the central spire. Remember to keep them from integrating in the central spire. You have until about a minute remains on the clock to activate all 3 sync plates. If you're successful, the heroic event will trigger. From here, more Vex will spawn in and attempt to integrate into the spire. There will be shielded Minotaurs and Harpies, as well as a Cyclops sending barrages at you. Some Hydras will also be causing chaos during this time. Keep them from integrating for the remainder of the event timer, and you will succeed in completing the event. That about does it for the event information. If you have any other questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I hope you found the video informative. If you did, a positive rating would be appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.